Well, what's going on, everybody? And welcome back to JD TV. I'm your host, Josh, and we're back for another little transfer, chat with you guys. Trying to do this each and every week up until the window closes. Have some fun stories surrounding our Canadian men's national team players. Chat with you guys, see what your thoughts and opinions are. So, yeah, if you guys are excited, be sure to say hello in the chat and let me know what your thoughts are. I picked a few topic points, as you can probably tell by looking at it, but you guys can throw in more as well. I wanted to talk about Jonathan David staying at Lille, why I think it'll happen, why I think it may be good. It's not confirmed. Nothing here is confirmed. This is just literally fun speculation with you guys. So David could absolutely move on, but in my opinion, right now, it looks like he may stay. And then, of course, Richie Laryea has been linked to a few different clubs. I think that's an interesting debate of where he's going to end up. Vancouver was one of the names. I don't think it's likely to happen, but I just was very curious that I was one of the names. Ike Ugbo as well. And any other players that you guys want to talk about, be sure to let me know in the comments. Let me know how you guys are doing today, because I'm just setting that up. And I'm wearing the Ottawa Senators shirt because I'm an Ottawa Senators fan, and they're killing it. So, yeah. Be sure to say hello in the chat, guys, and let me know what your guys' thoughts are. Quick question already. Do you think Jonathan David will stay at Lille for one more season, or do you think he's going to move? And if so, where? And then, like Producer D put in the chat, what Canadian men's national team transfer would you like to see the most? We got a fun video coming out on transfers over on One Soccer this Sunday, so I think you guys will enjoy that. But Yash is back. Haven't seen my man in a while. Yash, if you're still here, how are you doing? David to us next season once we get rid of Ronaldo. I mean, I don't know how much I would like David to head to United, but I mean, I don't know. I feel like he'd be a similar fit to United than he would be at Bayern in terms of the way that they line up. But I think that the Bundesliga would set David up for success. I just don't know if, and that's the number one reason I wanted to talk about David to Bayern, is because they basically said that they're nervous about replacing Lewandowski, which we already know. But they've also stated that they were looking for a similar profile to Robert Lewandowski, which Jonathan David is not. So that's a big issue with me contemplating whether I think David will go or not. Is that if Robert Lewandowski leaves, which, I mean, I don't know if he will or not, it'll open up a spot for Bayern, and they want to be patient about it. They don't know exactly what they want to do, but they know that they want the player to replace Lewandowski has to be a similar profile, big, strong, back to goal, number 9, can do a little bit of everything. I don't know if Jonathan David is exactly that, which is why I think that he may end up staying at Lille, because a project doesn't come his way that he wants before the World Cup. And he's got a new manager. He's already scored a couple goals. So it's, I don't know, man. Like, it looks a little interesting to see whether he's going to stay or whether he's going to go. Lille doesn't have European football, but he starts every game. No big team is in dire need of a striker, so it's probably the best to stay for now. I think that's fair. Lille doesn't have European football, which is probably a bummer to him. I mean, especially seeing Kyle Larin picking up some Champions League. But, yeah, I mean, when it comes to playing for Lille, he's going to start every single match. He's going to be a very, very important player. And I don't know. Like, I think he would shine at the Bundesliga. I really do. I think Jonathan David in the Bundesliga would be a match made in heaven. The problem is that he has got a very high price tag on him. It's very unlikely that there's only a handful of clubs that will probably bring him in. And in the Bundesliga, there's no other clubs. Dortmund have their strikers now. That's probably the only other team that can maybe sign Jonathan David. And yeah, so right now it's looking like Lille is probably going to be the only option. And unless, again, like there's projects that could potentially pop up. Like I've always mentioned Juve, because like I said, they play that 4-4-2 system. They lost Paulo Dybala. David, I think, would complement Vlahovic really, really well. I think he would do pretty decent as well in Serie A. So, like, you never know what's going to pop up. This is still a long transfer. But, I mean, right now, if you're asking me, I think that David stays put. But let me know down in the comments, guys. Do you think David should stay put? Do you think he should go? Let me know what your thoughts are there. And we'll get into Richie soon, because that's a fun little debate. Luke says, loving the new series, and that I hope that David actually stays. And this is the debate. I mean, you know what you're going to get at Lille. You're going to get a team that I'm assuming is going to be better under Paulo Fonseca. You're going to get minutes. You're going to score goals, and you're going to hopefully be in form leading up to the World Cup. Anything else can be a bit of a risk. So that's why I think David's going to be very, very particular about his next move. Like, for example, like I keep using Juve, but if Juve came up to him and said, hey, look at how we're going to structure out under Allegri. We're going to play in a 4-4-2. This is what Canada plays, what you were used to at Lille. There's an opening at that other striker position. We've lost a few players. You can play alongside Vlahovic. Is this something that you may want to do? Game time could be there. You just got to perform. So I don't know, man. It'll be interesting. Yash is late. I know, Yash, I am. But where are you? You're late now. But agent says, is he confirmed? No, nothing here is confirmed. This is just some fun speculation, guys. Fun speculation. I want to talk mainly about Jonathan David, where he's going to go, if he's going to stay. Richie Laryea, I think that's the biggest debate we can have today, where he's going to go. And, of course, finally, Ike Ugbo, he's up in the air. But if you guys are just joining us today, be sure to drop a like. If you guys are new to the content, drop a sub and say hello. Get your thoughts and opinions in, because I see Canucks Hub is tuning in. He says, as a Whitecaps fan, I hope Richie stays in Europe. I agree, man. I agree. Now, Richie's got an interesting situation because, I mean, he turned down a massive deal to be the most highly paid fullback in the league when he was at TFC. He joined up with Nottingham, couldn't break in, pretty miserable for him, even though Nottingham are now in the Premier League. And Nottingham's like, okay, well, we're not going to keep you. We're going to go out. We're going to probably buy some other fullbacks. And Williams just came in and you're on your way out. So now Richie needs to figure out what to do because, I mean, this World Cup is approaching quickly. I'd argue right now, if I'm building my best 11 for the Canadian men's national team, Richie's not in it for me. I'm doing the 4-4-2 and I got Alistair Johnson. That is how I would do it. So Richie, in my opinion, needs to do something to try to fight his way back in, to show like, no, I'm a big part of this team, which he still is, but I'm a big part of the starting 11. I need to find a way in here. And I think he needs to play to do that. So he's at a tough decision. He needs to find a proper loan move. Is it going back to the MLS? And from what I understand, Cincinnati owns his rights. So if anyone wants him, they'll have to trade for him. Then there was rumors of Dallas. There was rumors of the Whitecaps. I don't think the Whitecaps will have anything there. I kind of would guess maybe he would go to an American MLS side, kind of what my gut's telling me if he was to go. But I really want to see him stay in Europe. We've heard Belgium. We've heard the Netherlands. I think he's going to get a loan move to the championship. I think that's where I could see him. Maybe QPR, Middlesbrough, some type of club in there that could use a wingback, could use a fullback. When Richie's played at Nottingham Forest, he's shown that he's on pace. He can definitely do something in that league. It's just the fact that he basically didn't get the opportunity too much. And now Forest are up in the Premier League. They're bringing in some of the big boys. And I think that's probably about it for Richie. My FC Cincinnati drew last night. Well, that's funny, Yash. So it's Cincinnati, I believe, own the rights for Richie. I don't 100%. I saw it going around Twitter a little bit. That's from what I understand. So I'm pretty sure if he came back to the MLS, Cincinnati basically have first grabs or they can trade him. So there you go, Yash. You might be picking up a Canadian, but we shall see. Kim says, hey, Josh, hope you're well, buddy. I am. Kim, how are you doing today? Hope you're keeping well. If the new manager can bring JD back to form, I'm all for him staying at Lille. Yeah, and I've been talking up Paulo Fonseca for a long time. You guys know that. Anyone who's listened to me talk about Jonathan David and reasons why I think that he should stay at Lille, the main number one reason is because of Paulo Fonseca. For me, that is like he is the guy. I really like what he's done at Shakhtar. I mean, yes, it's the Ukrainian league and you're expecting to win, but he did some pretty impressive things, in my opinion, when he was at Shakhtar. And then he took over a Roma side that had, like, there was no expectations around that club. They were expected probably to finish maybe 5th, 6th, 7th, somewhere in there. He got him at, I believe, 6th place twice. But he played some pretty attractive football, got a lot out of the players, and I think he was not treated overly fair for the work that he did put in there. I think going to Lille, being able to put his stamp on, there's been a bit of turnaround, but he's got a history of getting a lot of strikers. And Dzeko is a good example there. At Shakhtar, he had Moraes, which was a great striker. He's technically Brazilian, but he's played for the Ukrainian national team. So I think he could do wonders with Jonathan David and just help him get consistently back to the form that we know that he can do. I like what Fonseca can do. And like no one, like I don't know how to describe it any better than he had Gaultier, great manager, took Lille to a title. Jocelyn Gorbanek off the board. And now coming back up, getting another quality manager. So I just think he's under good hands, which is why I don't mind if he can thrive, if he can play, he can score, grow under Fonseca, lead up to the World Cup, then see what projects come his way and make that big money move. Luke says stay at Lille. Jeffrey says Embolo left Borussia Mönchengladbach. Is that a fit? Probably too much. He went to Monaco. I think, yeah, right? He went to Monaco. I think that'll be a decent fit for him going to Ligue 1. I'd surprised seeing a few like Jan Sommer was linked to Nice. Thuram was linked, I think, to Nice as well. And then Embolo was linked to Monaco. So Gladbach is getting picked apart. So I don't know. I'd like to link a Canadian there because I think Dejan Buchanan would have been a great player for Gladbach, but I don't think that'll happen anytime soon. Embolo will be too expensive, unfortunately. Josh, David to Bayern could work if Gnabry is sold. I was eating dinner, forgot to reply earlier. No problem, my man. No problem. Now, I don't like. I had a debate with Manuel on our podcast about that, and I kind of get the point. But like Manuel was saying, similar to kind of what you're saying is that David is more of a replacement for Gnabry as opposed to Lewandowski. Look in the way that Bayern play, whether it's a 4-2-3-1, 3-4-2-1. I mean, I want David playing as a striker, whether it's a sole striker, dual striker. I don't really see him out on the wings. So I don't know if he'd be a proper replacement for Gnabry. I just don't see David as a winger. I think maybe, if anything, he could drop down as maybe a false 9 into the dual 10 position if Bayern's playing a 3-4-2-1. But I really want to see him play up front. That's why I just think for him right now, Juve and the way that they play, playing onside of Vlahovic, like that's where I'd like to see him go. I think given the opportunity to play for Bayern, if he was playing in a 4-2-3-1 as a striker, he'll score goals. It's Bayern. It's the Bundesliga. Like, it'll happen. I just don't know if Bayern would see David as a true Lewandowski replacement. And if they do, they're going to be patient. Like, there could they could put Mane up there. If they get Gnabry to stay, they could put Gnabry up there. Like, there's other options that are similar to bringing in Jonathan David. So, and they're also not spending 50 mil. So yeah, so I don't know. I don't see David playing it on the wing. And that's why I'm starting to think that the links to Bayern may be slowly cooling down. He could be Ten Hag's new Haller. Martial looks sharp versus Liverpool. I mean, the only worry with me with United, I mean, yeah, you know that United's not my favorite team, but I just think that there's just so much that goes along with playing for Manchester United. I just don't know if making that kind of jump from Lille to the Premier League, playing for United, like a lot of pressure, like it's just been a nightmare watching that team last year. So I don't know on a personal level if I would like to see David do that, because I just think that it wouldn't be a match made in heaven, to say the least. But I think that there's a chance one top 6 club could come looking at him in the near future, but I don't think it'll be this summer. Hey, Josh, how you doing, my friend? Well, let me know what you think, guys. Put yes or no in the chat right now. Do you think David stays or leaves? Yes or no? What are you guys thinking? I'm going to say no. So my gut's telling me I'm going to say no. The first game of the season will be big for David. Yeah, the first games will be... I'm excited to see him back with Lille. Lille completely picked apart their team. I'll bring it up on screen for you guys just to take a quick look at their roster. But it looks very, very different than to what it did. Like that championship team is almost like basically just gone. Not there anymore. But let's take a look at their squad. So it's a pretty small squad. So I mean, Jardim's taking on the number 1. He'll be the new starting keeper there. They don't have a Wikipedia page for Ribeiro. So they brought in from Chaves. He just got promoted up to the Portuguese top flight. So he's coming in as a center back. Giallo is still there. Gunnarson's still there. Fonte, Jonathan Bamba. Martin came in as one of the center mids. David, obviously the main man right now. Renato Sanchez, still unclear. PSG put in a 10 million offer, almost a slap in the face. Like Remy Cabella is one of the new signings. I don't know exactly what he's gonna bring, but I think he'll be a decent player. I'm curious to see what Fonseca is gonna play in. But they still have like Angel Gomez, Weah's still there. Bio they just brought in, scored 14 goals last year. So like they have a decent team. I'm just very curious to see what Fonseca is gonna do with it. If it's gonna be a 4-2-3-1, which he's played before, maybe even a 3-4-2-1, which he played a lot at Roma. Yash says Fred. What's up with our national team recently? Yesterday, they posted some stuff about transparency. I hope that they won't get canceled. I think if the September matches get canceled, we're in big trouble. I don't think that they will. Personally, I don't think that they will. But yeah, I mean, the players are calling for transparency. There's a lot of moving parts that need to be sorted out. But yeah, I mean, there's a lot of dirty laundry that's getting aired right now. So this is it's a big point for soccer here in Canada to see what's going to happen. But this isn't what we want to be talking about leading up to the World Cup. We want to be talking about who's going to score goals, who's going to start, who's going to thrive, who's going to be the wild card. But instead, it's just a whole bunch of negativity that's going to go up, and the players want answers. This program was overlooked for a long, long time, decades. And now all of a sudden, when there's real money on the table, issues start coming about. So I don't know. Honestly, I don't know what's going to happen. With Lewandowski gone, Gnabry would be number 9. I'd almost say Mane. What do you think? Like if Gnabry stays too, like Mane played basically as a center forward all year long for Liverpool. So that would be my guess. I don't think if Lewandowski did leave, I don't know. Class of snitch they might from Stuttgart, they might bring in just similar profile. Probably won't start a lot. I'm assuming even if they brought him in, they just like, all right, never mind. Like Mane is the guy. That'd be my guess, but I don't know 100% know what's going to happen. I'd assume Mane with Kingsley Coman and Gnabry on the wings in a front three with Thomas Müller as a cam. And no Jonathan David. Mane is so much better from the left, but it can work. I mean, he was better from the left. He didn't, I don't know. I played more centrally last year for Liverpool than anything else. So that's what I would assume that's what would happen. But thoughts on Qatar and Uruguay friendlies? I'm happy with it. I am. Uruguay is an excellent opponent. They're a top 15 nation. They have world-class players on it. Like Uruguay is an excellent matchup for us. So I'm excited to see how that goes. Paraguay was obviously rumored as well, but I think Qatar is a better fit because they're the defending champs of Asia. They're used to playing CONCACAF nations, so I think that they'll give us a good go as well. So yeah, I don't know. There's a lot to like about the friendlies. So let me know in the comments, guys. Give me a rating out of 10. How would you rate the 2 friendlies that we picked up here? I really like them. 2 nations going to the World Cup. Uruguay will be the biggest test, obviously. I'm expecting a good match against Qatar, but I like them, man. Considering that, like, obviously our ideal situations, the European nations are in Nations League and the African nations are in AFCON. This is it. This is what we had to work with, and I don't mind it at all. Yasha's Uruguay is a good match. Qatar, not so much. But again, I mean, Qatar, like, I keep repeating myself. Like, Qatar are the hosts, automatic berth. I get that. But they are the defending champs of Asia. Like, it's nothing to take away. Like, they're a good nation. They're an up-and-coming nation. I think it'll be a good matchup. I think they'll be hungry. It'll be interesting. And then Uruguay is just a good nation. Like, I'm excited for this. Hope he leaves, needs professional growth from a bigger club. Yeah, if it wasn't a World Cup year, I would say yes, like 100% needs to go ASAP, especially after last season. However, because this is the World Cup year, it changes the perspective of a lot of Canadian national team players and any player. It's a World Cup year. This is important. This is a massively, massively important thing for any player out there. This means so much. They have to make these next moves count. That's why I always say that Jonathan David will be very careful. He will take a look at what's available. And all right, I think I'm good. Hello? All right, I think I'm good. I just changed my Wi-Fi. My Wi-Fi is being a little iffy because it's crappy Canadian Wi-Fi. So let's hope all is good. I'm gonna just double check the sounds. Yep, all right, we're good. Well, the Wi-Fi is crap, guys. So if I look weird, my apologies. It's my Wi-Fi. It is what it is. We'll probably do a shorter one. We'll probably go for another 10 minutes or so. But yeah, Wi-Fi in Canada, man. At least you guys can hear me okay. But yeah, because it's a World Cup year, I think that staying at Lille, unless a good project comes along that he'll be a fit in, I don't think it's a bad choice. All good here. Thank you. Looking forward to next season. Look at Scotty Arfield in there. He looks good. I like it. What do you think chance Team Canada can get out of the group? I don't know, man. It's going to be difficult. There's no getting around that. Like, we have Belgium, Croatia, Morocco. I think we're going to have to hope that we for sure beat Morocco if we want a chance, and then somehow nip a result off of one of the other two. I think it'd be difficult. I'll probably give us like maybe a 30% chance of getting into the group, but we're definitely heavy underdogs. And with all this off-field issues that are going on as well, I mean, if we keep hurting our preparation, I'm going to keep downgrading. I mean, I'd like to believe that there's a chance because, I mean, Costa Rica showed us, hey, anything's possible. Doesn't matter what the group of death looks like. Anything is possible. So I'm going to hold on to that. But with all the off-field issues in this Canadian national team right now, it's a little nerve-wracking. This should be good times. Right now, it almost seems like everything's a little edgy. Josh, I said Fred because he played under Fonseca at Shakhtar. I believe you're probably right. Fonseca was there from 2016 to 2019. So more than likely, I think Fred did play under him there. Pretty low. Belgium and Croatia are dominant. I think both of them are like trending downwards a little bit, but yes, they're still heavy hitters in Europe. Like they're favorites. There's no beating around the bush. Like Canada has got a big task. Maybe if you beat Croatia, it could be possible. I agree. I mean, I think that would be a massive opportunity if we can do it. However, yeah, we're just gonna wait and see. Like we're not favorites going through. We're heavy underdogs. But so was Costa Rica, guys. I'm telling you. And there was a lot of vibes you would get between the two. I think there's something there for Canada, but like I mentioned, Costa Rica I don't think had all these off-field issues that are ongoing and boiling over between the men's and women's national teams. So I don't know, man. It's making things a little sketchy. How good was it to see Laryea working with Buchanan yesterday? Very, very cool. I'm excited to watch a lot of Club Brugge games this year. I watched a fair amount last year at the end because when Buchanan joined. However, Buchanan plays so deep when he plays as a wingback. He still gets opportunities to go forward, but you can just tell he's got that defensive responsibility. And I want him to be free, man. I want him to be free. And he just wasn't. But if you guys are still with us, be sure to drop a like on the stream. Get your guys' thoughts and opinions in. Richie Laryea, where's he going to go? Jonathan David's been the main talking point so far, as well as talking about our upcoming World Cup, which is going to be exciting. I want David to leave, not enough quality around him despite the exciting new manager. Yeah, I mean, Lille's team has gotten worse. There's no debating that. They've lost a lot of players. I think they're going to continue to lose players. Renato Santos could be on his way out the door as well. It is a bit of a nervy time. I'm curious to see who Fonseca can bring in. But like I said, I think David is got a big move in his near future. I just think that for him, if it's not here before World Cup, he can push it a year. But that's just my opinion. Who knows? There could be a project that comes his way. He's like, yeah, sign me up. I'm out. No problem whatsoever. But for right now, I don't know. I just got a gut feeling that project may not present itself this specific year. Knowing that the World Cup is coming up, he may not be overly anxious to push through that move. But I'm just speculating, my friends. I'm just speculating. I really hope David doesn't go to Inter as an AC Milan fan. I can almost promise you that he won't go to Inter, man. They're still looking to sign Dybala, which I hope they don't because they still have Edin Dzeko there. They have Martinez. They got Lukaku. I like the idea of him going there because of the way that they played, but I would have felt like David would have been a Lautaro Martinez replacement. Him playing alongside a Lukaku. It's kind of the same way now I want him to go to Juve. Him playing alongside of Vlahovic. Like there's certain strike partnerships that work that can balance off of each other, and I think David would do damage there. And there's not a lot of teams that play with two striker systems. There's not. A couple of the good ones are in Serie A. AC Milan, I mean, with Giroud that's aging out. I mean, Origi is not a quality striker, in my opinion. You got Zlatan, who's going to be injured for a long time. Like there could have been something there, but I don't know. He'd be playing on a lone striker, and I don't know if that suits him. 8 out of 10. In terms of friendlies, Qatar is on the rise. They fared well at the Gold Cup. Yeah, I'd say I think I put 9 out of 10 for when I rated our two friendlies. Excited to see the Uruguay match, and I rate Qatar. I think that they're a good nation, and they're going to give us a nice warm-up match, basically. Do you think we have a chance at topping Group F? Also, Qatar is a great opponent. I mean, I don't know, man. Costa Rica, like I said, Costa Rica topped their group of death with England, Italy, and Uruguay. So, I mean, anything is possible. But I would say probably no. I would say this. If we're going to get out of the group, it will be a 1-1-1. We will beat Morocco, lose to one of Croatia or Belgium, and draw one of Croatia or Belgium. And we will squeak through. That's how I would imagine us getting out, but yeah, I don't know. I do think a big part of it is like is a very scary amount of negativity that's going on right now. I don't know if there's an answer in the near future. So we'll have to hope, we'll have to pray, but who knows how much this could impact our upcoming World Cup and the mindset of some of the players. But the key to pass is the match against Croatia. I agree. You have to take business, though. You have to take care of business against Morocco. That is the bare minimum if you want to qualify. The bare minimum. Croatia, you have to force into errors that they'll play through. You say they had a couple poor matches I saw recently, but then they had a couple impressive ones as well. So Croatia will be an interesting one. A little transition going on there, but still a lot of quality players. I know exactly how you feel, Josh. Supporting Scotland team is full of ups and downs, mostly downs. As I know, we will always get knocked out. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. It's interesting. There's a lot of issues though going off field right now with the Canadian national team and basically this incredible rise that maybe the Canada soccer just wasn't ready for. But it's here, and we're gonna have to see how they react to a couple big decisions will need to be made in the near future. You can beat Morocco, but Belgium will be tough to play against. I agree. Laryea returned to the MLS. I don't know about Richie, guys. I don't know where I want to see him go. I think that I'd personally like to see him in the championship as long as I think QPR is an interesting one. I think there's an opening at that right wing back. They play that 3-4-2-1. I think if Richie was loaned there, he could have an opportunity to blossom at that position. I think that's where you can see Richie at his best when he's got that back three, so he can get a little bit more ability to go forward, make those kind of runs. But making it to the MLS is the safer pick because I don't think it matters where he'd go in the MLS. I think he'd be an impact player from a wing back or right back position. So just depending what kind of offers come his way. It's a loan move. It's before World Cup. So I don't know if there's a right or wrong, but I kind of hope that there's a project that he could start with that's going to be offered to him that's in the championship. Maybe head to the Netherlands, Belgium, something like that. Montreal need Laryea. I don't know about that. I mean, they got ZBG there who's not even playing. So I think their wing backs are covered pretty nicely. I don't think Montreal needs Laryea. I don't think the Whitecaps need him. I don't know if Cincinnati does. I kind of like the project that they've been doing a huge turnaround from that brutal season last year. Yeah, I don't really know. We have Davies at left mid with a 4-3-3. I think more than likely, I've done this video a couple times, but I mean, I'll do it very quickly for you guys. You can let me know if you agree or disagree, but my best 11 for Canada, obviously situations can change, but just naturally putting one together, it's the 4-4-2. Borjan in net, Alistair Johnson right back. You have Victoria, Kamal Miller, your two center backs. Atakubi left back. Tejan right mid. Davies left mid with Eustachio and Hutch as your two center mids. And then, of course, David and Lairn up front. That is my best 11. Costa Rica faced a weak Italy, which is not the same as it used to be, and not even qualified for the World Cup. Yeah, Italy. Who says Richie won't get a chance at Forest? Sure, he didn't play much last year and is still a part of a strong, promising squad. When Spence goes, I just think that'll be a smart move to keep him. Nottingham Forest said that he won't get a chance with them. Unfortunately, they've already signed a couple wingbacks. They're linked to a few more. It's basically on the cards. There's been reports that Forest has told him to find a loan move. So that's why we mentioned that. And a couple of teams that were mentioned, like I said, like his rights in the MLS, I believe belonged to Cincinnati. And then it was rumored lightly that Vancouver Whitecaps and Dallas were interested in him. But Forest have told him to find a loan move. So there's a very slim chance, in my opinion, that he will be at Forest next season. Unless there can't be any suitors and Cooper's going to be like, okay, well, we got to make do. But if he stays at Forest, he will not play. He will probably play as very similar minutes than what we saw this year. And that's just not good for a player who I think has a lot more to offer. So that is basically why we're doing the video today. It was mostly around the Richie news, just with the transfer speculation of where he could go. But it's looking like a loan move, and it's looking like it's out of Forest. Lukaku Martinez start over David, FYI. Yeah, obviously. That's why I said, like, I don't really want to see David go to Inter anymore, because if David were to go to Inter, I would have thought it would have been for a Martinez replacement. So Lautaro gets shipped out. David comes in. David Lukaku partnership up front. But yeah, I mean, David goes to Inter now. He's got those two. He's got Edin Dzeko and maybe even Paulo Di Paula. So no, that's why I don't think Inter's a likely situation anymore. And I think Juve could be. Juve's got an opening if they still play that 4-4-2 system, man. I'm telling you, David Vlahovic could do some danger there. Do you see David going to the MLS until the end of? No, David won't go to the MLS. I mean, I'd say probably ever, but I don't think he'll go to the MLS until the end of the season and go back to Europe. No, he'll be in Europe probably for the majority of his career. If he goes to the MLS at all, it'll be probably in his late 30s. Retire there, maybe retire at the Impact close to home. We can dream. Whitecaps could definitely use him. They have decent. I mean, Whitecaps have a ton of fullbacks. I mean, yes, Laryea is an upgrade, but I don't know if that's like a desperate need to bring him in. But maybe I don't know. What's a potential team that Tajon could transfer to in the future? I think Borussia Mönchengladbach. I do. We literally just talked. Gladbach is going through a bit of a transition right now. Players are getting linked out left, right, and center. I think Tajon. I think most Canadians would do well in the Bundesliga. I just think it's a beautiful league for North American talent. I've seen a lot of United States players do well there. I mean, Davies has thrived there. I think David, if he joined up with the club, would do well. I think that's where Tajon was going to go. Freiburg was the other option, but I think a team like Gladbach, good, stylish-looking team, like playing that 4-2-3-1. David would do pretty well in the wings, and they're losing two wingers. Not that it's going to happen this year, but I could see like that type of quality of a team looking at him in the near future. But Tajon will have to prove it at Club Brugge because, I mean, he did okay in his first half season at Bruges. It's not like he took it by storm, but he was playing a little bit out of position. So hopefully a big European team. It'll depend. Again, it'll depend on the progression. Like I said, I'm pitching like a Gladbach right now. But I mean, if Tajon can impress in the Champions League and the World Cup, that opens up a whole bunch of opportunities. The World Cup opens up an opportunity for any player. That is the biggest stage that if you want to get yourself a move, that is the time to act. So he'd be at Club Brugge for a year. If he has an incredible World Cup, then, right there, transfer window is open. That's where the move type could happen. That's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Our Canadians should bet on themselves and stay with their clubs. If minutes are not smaller squad for minutes, it's also guaranteed that they will be better options. Yeah, I mean, after the World Cup, yes. And that's what my point around Jonathan David stands. Like, I think that if a good project, like a big club, man, like if a big club like Juve, one of the Milans, Bayern came knocking, David will more than likely go. But if there's not quite that look, if there's like the West Hams that are sniffing around, maybe even a Napoli, even though I think Napoli would be a good little move. If it's not quite what he's looking for, I think he's going to bet on himself to impress at Lille, impress at the World Cup, and then get that move. But I don't think Richie Laryea should bet on himself because I just don't think he's going to get the opportunity. They didn't treat him overly well in terms of opportunities in the championship. They've already told him to look for another club. There's not really a point of staying. He's not going to play. He's not going to perform. So there's certain situations, and I don't know, man. I think that Laryea is like a perfect option. Ike Ugbo, I was meaning to mention him. He literally helped Troyes avoid relegation, scored 5 goals in 14 appearances in a top 5 league. Goes back to Genk, and they say, you're not welcome here. Find yourself a new club. So I'm expecting Ugbo to probably go back to Liga, maybe the Turkish league, find a couple clubs there that could use him. Strasbourg, maybe with Ajork going to Hertha Berlin. And Ugbo could be an option there. So he'll be an interesting one to keep an eye on as well. But yeah, there's a few situations right now where Canadians do need moves. I'd say 3 come to mind. Ike, because he was told to find a new club. Laryea, because he was basically told to get loaned to a new club. And finally, Daniel Henry, who is just without a club. So I was going to say Villarreal could be an option. For Tajon, it's not bad. Not a bad show. I picture the Bundesliga, though, man. I would love to see someone like Tajon play in the Bundesliga. I just think that league is just built for the style of player that he is. But Villarreal is a decent little option. They play the 4-4-2. Buchanan can probably play as a right or left mid. Danjuma sold. Maybe Buchanan can start for them. Yeah, but again, I don't think he's going to be going until December or January. He hasn't even been with Club Brugge for a year yet. And I don't think he's even done enough at Club Brugge yet to be like, hey, yeah, we need to buy him like now. I think that's what the World Cup's going to be able to maybe give him, as well as a good half season with Club Brugge. David would be good to stay and will be starting 95% of their matches. Great for fitness, even though Lille is trending down. Richie just needs to be playing week in, week out as well. Matthew, agree with you 100%. And that's the number one reason. And I made videos on it, and I'm proud of the video I made on it because I think I was making a lot of sense. Unless it's a really good project and a club you cannot say no to, staying at Lille for one more season is not bad. Jonathan David in 2 seasons with Lille had 2 very bad goal droughts. His start to Lille was really poor, got really hot, carried it on to the half of last season, and then got really cold. Guess what the one consistent was through both of those years? He always started. Basically, always started. Whether it was Galtier, whether it was Gorbnik, didn't matter how David was performing, didn't matter how long the goal drought lasted. He was always given an opportunity to right a wrong. And I don't see it happening any different under Fonseca. Fonseca will be like, David, man, please, JD, stay. Stay for one more year. Stay with me. Look what I can do. And then we'll get you that big move. That would be my pitch, being like, hey, no offense, Jocelyn Gorbnik, but, he's never the guy. He's never the guy to take care of you. I'm the guy. I can do wonders here. Stay for one more season, play a ton of minutes, thrive up until the World Cup, blow it away in the World Cup, get your dream move. That would be my pitch. And I think that's fine because there's no guarantee if he makes a move that he will start. As your second point, Richie Laryea made a move in January. Bold move, betted on himself, wasn't quite the right decision. I mean, it is what it is. But now he's got an opportunity to hopefully find himself a nice little loan spot. My gut is saying like a QPR. But we shall see. But I agree. Richie needs to play week in, week out. And like I just said, with my best starting 11 for Canada, Richie's no longer in it. Alistair Johnston is almost undroppable at the moment. Josh, where do you think Osorio should go if a move to Europe is on the cards? That's a good question. And that's a realistic question. Jonathan Osorio's contract ends December 31st, 2022. He's got the opportunity to play out the rest of the season with a lot of eyes on him. A lot of TFC is getting a lot of big names. There'll be a lot of eyes on Jonathan Osorio in the MLS. And then he's got the World Cup. And then what happens right after the World Cup? His contract comes to an end. He's a free agent, and he's always had a dream of going to Europe. He'll be 30. It's his last chance to do it. Probably sign a 3-year deal somewhere. In terms of where he should go, honestly, man, like, that's a tricky question. Like, I don't know. Turkey's just screaming at me for some reason. Like, Besiktas, Galatasaray, Fenerbahce, Trabzonspor. Those are like the type of clubs that are just immediately screaming out to me. He's not going to go to the Prem. I don't even know if he's going to go to a top 5 league. Maybe Liga could be a decent one, a nice little cheeky pickup. But I'd assume, I don't know. Ideally, maybe France could be a cool spot. More than likely, a trio of ending up in Belgium, the Netherlands, or maybe more than likely Turkey. But the Turkish side love taking shots on Canadians and even North American players like the Americans as well. So that'd be my guess. When will Canadians begin to dominate the English? I have no idea, my man. Do you see David in the Premier League? I don't. I mean, if he's going to go there, I assume he'd want a top 6. I don't think one would be on the cards. I think the most likely scenario is him going to West Ham, and I don't want to see that. And I don't think David wants to see that. I think he's striving for like a Champions League regular. So it's difficult to do. I mean, maybe there's Arsenal rumors, but they signed Gabriel Jesus, and that's basically their Jonathan David. So I don't really see any other options. I mean, Chelsea needs a striker, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know if he's the guy. All it takes for some of these Canadian players is a good World Cup. January would be huge. Yeah, and that goes for any nation. The World Cup is the biggest opportunity. Just go on Google, guys, and look up players who got a big move due to the World Cup. Mesut Ozil, Sami Khedira, James Rodriguez, David Ospina. There's so many. So many. This is the biggest opportunity in the world to boost up your stock and get you that move. So, and the bottom 10 teams are a downgrade from Lille. Newcastle, payday for Osorio. I don't think Osorio goes to the Prem, man. I don't know if that's... Like I said, I think it's like one of those teams like just on the outskirts of the top 5 league, or maybe league, maybe Portugal as well, but don't really know exactly where he's a fit. You'd assume you'd want to go for one of the top 3, and I don't know. It's a tricky question where Osorio. I had trouble. I think I did a video on it, and I said Galatasaray was one that came to mind for me. Big club on the had a poor season. I don't know. Navas, yeah, Keylor Navas. There you go. That's a big World Cup move that he got. Went on to win 3 Champions Leagues after bringing Costa Rica to a quarterfinal of a World Cup. So, yeah, that was a massive one, and that's a CONCACAF move. And I think Chucky Lozano as well, right, guys? Chucky Lozano had a decent World Cup. But yeah, guys, we're going to end it for today there. JDD, are you going to watch the women's game tonight? I am. A spot in the Olympics is up for grabs for our Canadian women's national team. So they've already secured the World Cup, making it to the Final Four. They have the Olympics to win. If they win tonight, they qualify for the Olympics. They're defending champs, so definitely will be watching that. So yeah. So guys, I hope you guys enjoy our little transfer weekly stream that we'll be doing until the transfer deadline is over, I guess. But hopefully you guys did enjoy it. And if you did, as always, be sure to drop a like, guys, on the stream. Drop a sub if you guys are new and you have not subscribed to the channel. And hopefully we will see you guys on the next one. So cheers, friends, and good luck to our Canadian women's national team tonight. Hopefully a spot in the Olympics is to come. Cheers, friends.